PS5 Slim releasing in 2023. We also have a price point for the PlayStation handheld. I got all of that and more coming up. You don't want to miss a single thing. Please watch until the entire end. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Monkey Flop here, and today we're going to be first talking about the PlayStation 5 Slim, and then we're going to be talking about the price point for the PlayStation handheld. Now, I do have to throw out this is rumor and speculation at this point. Sony has not officially announced anything, but if you watch my videos in the past, and we even talked about the PlayStation 5 before it was even a thing. So right now we're talking about the PlayStation 5 Slim. Microsoft seems to think we're getting a PlayStation 5 Slim this year. I'm on the Verge website right now, theverge.com. There's plenty of websites out there that are talking about the exact same thing. I've reached out to sources, which I'm not going to mention in this video, but I've reached out to sources, and they are also believing that PlayStation is going to be releasing a Slim later on this year. Now, let's go over some of the details because it's very interesting. And then I'm going to answer the question, should you get a PlayStation 5 now, or should you wait for the Slim? Microsoft thinks we're getting a PlayStation 5 Slim model later this year that might be priced at $400, $399 with 99 cents. Now, if you guys aren't aware, there's a big legal battle with FTC and Microsoft because Microsoft wants to purchase Activision and Blizzard. Activision and Blizzard would be a big thing because you have Overwatch, you got Call of Duty. Over 1 million people have a PlayStation console just to play Call of Duty. So it is a big thing, even if you're not playing, Call of Duty at the moment. I'm not. I am playing Overwatch though, so it would affect me. But because of all of this, Microsoft has been spilling the beans about Sony and PlayStation's plans. And now, they're assuming, I have to throw that out there, but companies know things, but for legal reasons they're assuming that it's going to be released in 2023. Specifically, the latest report from Insider Gaming, September 2023, with the detachable disk drive. Now, if you've heard or seen any of my videos in the past, we've covered the PlayStation 5 Slim, and we've covered the fact that the new PlayStation 5 Slim allegedly does not have a disk drive. I have the disk drive right here. I got the black cover on it. Just got a cover off of Amazon before PlayStation made theirs. But this thing is massive. Okay, we get the disk drive right in here. I'm sticking my finger inside, but because you probably can't see it on the camera. But this thing is massive. So if they were to cut this bad boy down, maybe like 2/3 of the way down, that would be cool, and a lot skinnier, that would be awesome. But the new PlayStation 5, which according to a lot of rumor and speculation at this point, the new PlayStation 5 will not have a disk drive. They're not going to be selling this one anymore. So if you have this one, hold on to it. Don't sell it. Don't get rid of it because it's going to be worth a lot. We saw this with the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 had the 80 gigabyte backwards compatibility, which I honestly still have mine sitting on the desk right there. I'm pretty interested. I'm probably going to plug it in and do a video on it later on. But they discontinued the 80 gigabyte PlayStation 3 a little bit after it got released, just because it was too expensive to manufacture. They were losing money, whatever. But it had backwards compatibility, and when they released a new PlayStation 3, they got rid of the backwards compatibility, and there was no more 80 gigabyte PlayStation. So with this new PlayStation 5 Slim, we're not going to be seeing a physical disk drive on the console. According to reports and rumor and speculation at this point, we'll be getting a detachable disk drive on it. So that's the reason why the price point would be around $400 as opposed to $500 or $550 depending on taxes and where you live and stuff like that. So there is that. Okay, so we are most likely going to be getting a new PlayStation 5 Slim sometime this year. Okay, so we don't have confirmation from Sony and PlayStation yet. Of course, they're not going to release any information because that's going to stop consumers from buying the current gen of PlayStation 5s. So they're probably not going to announce it until they're ready to release it and put it on the shelves. So we'll have to wait and see. If any news comes out about the PlayStation 5 Slim, I will definitely let you guys know, like I did in the past and in this video here today. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the PlayStation Portable, the PlayStation handheld device. Now, according to Microsoft, in the legal battle that they got going on with the FTC, according to Microsoft, they're anticipating the release of a handheld version of the PlayStation 5 later this year under $300. And with The Verge, I agree with them because this is not going to be a PlayStation 5 handheld. Okay, it's going to be able to stream and do remote play with the PlayStation 5, but it's going to be its own thing. You will need a PlayStation 5 in order to stream and play PlayStation 5 games, but you're not going to be able to download any PlayStation 5 games or play it directly from the handheld itself. It's going to be streaming. Now, we don't know what Sony PlayStation's plans are as far as that goes. I really hope that they include, portable games in this. I hope they're developing portable games. I hope that they're developing games that are currently playable on the PlayStation 5 to be able to be played on the handheld and saved on the handheld rather than doing remote play and streaming it over Wi-Fi. Because let's face it, if you take your handheld out in public, whether you're playing it at work, I'm not going to tell your boss, or you're playing it at school, I'm not going to tell your teacher, or you're on an airplane or somewhere else, you're not going to always have Wi-Fi connection. So that would actually honestly render a handheld useless at that point. There's no point in taking it if you don't have Wi-Fi and you can't save any games on it. So I would assume that Sony and PlayStation would have the ability to save games. I mean, if we look at Nintendo Switch, you can play Overwatch 2 on there. And Overwatch 2 looks amazing on PlayStation 5, but you can also play it on the Nintendo Switch. And the cool thing about a lot of the games these days is my Overwatch 2 account is linked to the developer, not to my PlayStation account. So if I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch and I decide, you know what, I want to play on the PlayStation 5, that honestly, the data transfers over immediately because it's linked to the game itself and not the console. So that's pretty cool, and that's something that Sony and PlayStation could do. They could put Overwatch 2 on this handheld. They could put other games that will be compatible to be able to be saved on this handheld, and that would be amazing. But as of right now, all everybody is talking about is remote play. And honestly, every single person has a phone. Every single person has a phone. You can do remote play on basically most of the iPhones and a lot of the Android phones as well. So, and even iPads, you can do remote play. So, having a standalone handheld that doesn't bring extra value doesn't really make sense. And I don't think Sony is going to make a mistake of releasing something like that. We'll just have to wait and see, right? But according to Microsoft's predictions and footnotes, this PlayStation handheld is going to release under $300. And I like to emphasize again, the PlayStation 5 Slim is allegedly going to be released this year as well. And that price point is going to be around $400. We've talked about this before. It's like a lot of this information that I'm sharing with you right now, we've talked about it in previous videos, but the difference is Microsoft is coming out and saying this stuff now, which further confirms some of the things that we have been speculating for quite some time. Again, Microsoft is speculating this as well, but we'll have to wait and see. As far as the PlayStation 5 goes, should you wait and save $100 by waiting till the end of this year, or maybe even September of this year? If you're not in a hurry, you're not in a rush, and you still have your PlayStation 4, I would honestly say wait. If you don't care about the disc drive and you just want to play digital games, think about it. When was the last time you bought a physical game? Or when was the last time you used your PlayStation console for DVDs and movies? If you use that a lot, if you buy physical games, or you just want the extra value that comes with the PlayStation 5 disc drive version, then I would say definitely get this one. I have two. So, I wouldn't recommend something that I already haven't done. I know that there's a PlayStation 5 Slim in the works. I know that they're coming out with one, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. But I went out and bought a second PlayStation 5 just because I wanted two with the disc drive. So I have this one in my office. I have another one in my bedroom. So that way, if I get physical games, I can put them in and play them. If I want to play a DVD player or Blu-ray, I can do that. I have a PlayStation 4 that does the same thing. But honestly, I've been using my PlayStation 5 for a lot more things than the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 is here, connected to another TV that's over here. The PlayStation 4 is connected to that one, and the PlayStation 5 is connected to this one. So if I have people over, if somebody wants to play with me, we could game in the same room. They're both connected to LAN cables. I have good internet in here. That's the reason why I still use my PlayStation 4. But if it wasn't for that, I honestly wouldn't be using my PlayStation 4 that much. There are some games that I like to go back and play, but not that many for me to, still have a PlayStation 4 in my office. But love to get you guys' thoughts and opinions about it in the comments down below. I wanted to share my opinion, especially at the end, whether or not you should get it. If you have the money and you want the disc drive, definitely do it. If you're considering or maybe even doubting you want the disc drive, I would say wait, think about it. Let's see this PlayStation Slim, PlayStation 5 Slim. Let's see how it works out. And also, with the handheld, I'm excited to see what Sony PlayStation does. I'm probably gonna get it on day one, especially if it's under 300 bucks. That is a pretty steep price point for a handheld, considering like Nintendo. But Nintendo's probably gonna come out with their new console soon, and with that, that's probably gonna be more than 300 bucks. So again, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next news update. Oh, please don't forget to comment down below because that helps the channel out tremendously. Leaving a like also helps. And if you're new, subscribe with those bell notifications turned on. I will see you guys in the next news update. You guys are freaking awesome.